Hi guys, welcome to Pet Rambles. I'm Pet and today I'm going to ramble about the vinyl records that I bought in 2024. Say hello to Boberre, also known as Boberre, also known as Bobberino Pecorino. He's a long boy right now. He's going to get immortalized in this video. Yes, that's you. That's you. So, every year, ever since 2017, 2016, I don't know, I have a link with all the videos that I've done in the past. Every year I make a video about the vinyl records that I purchased last year. So right now it's 2025. I'm going to make a video about the vinyl records that I bought in 2024. Jesus Christ. It's kind of like a tradition. I like to share my collection with other people. Maybe you are going to find something interesting for yourself, but also kind of for myself to reminiscence the things that I've spent money on. It's a bit weird because right now I'm at a point where I'm like, I need to cut down with spending and buying things that I'm not going to use that often or things like that. I don't regret my vinyl purchases generally, only maybe a couple of them where I went on with the hype and right now I'm not that excited anymore. But the thing is just generally, you find something you like, you buy it, you have it in your collection, but years pass, you maybe move to something else, and I don't have a regret about those. But there are a couple of vinyl records where I was a little bit like, not sure what to say. But anyway, it seems that this year I bought around 30 vinyl records, I believe. It seems to be kind of like an average 20 something around that, except in 2021 when I bought like 70 something. I did entertain myself somehow with some vinyl records in April this year, where I paid a bit too much for a couple of them just to get them on my collection, and you will see what those are. But there are a couple of artists where I want to have maybe everything I can or something like that. But anyway, I will start actually with the cassettes. Generally I don't collect, I mostly collect vinyl records, and when I say collecting, just in case this is your first video with me watching, it's not that I'm going to buy every record ever. It's not, the purpose is not to have like a big collection. It's just that I enjoy listening to music, I enjoy finding new music and other things like that, right? And there are bands that I like, there are albums that I like, and I want to have them on vinyl so I can listen to them here. It's kind of like this physicality thing also. So it's the purpose is not to get as many things as possible, it's just to get the things that I like. And because of that, I did started to get a couple of cassette tapes from the bands that I like, actually from one band part-time, but also here and there. And I will start with Mitch Murder, Current Events. Mitch Murder, Current Events has been a bit of my holy grail. It was never released on vinyl or on cassette. This was the first. Mitch Murder is my most listened artist from 2015, 2016, and then DeMarco took over. But I've listened to this album a lot. It's also, Mitch Murder, it's part of my work playlist. Whenever I want to immerse in work, I have like a tradition to start with a couple of new retro wave songs, and Mitch Murder is there. It's kind of like I'm always listening to him. I will talk a bit more about Mitch Murder when I will get to the vinyl record. But I did purchase, this is Jacco Gardner, Cabinet of Curiosity. I do have this vinyl, bought this in 2017 I believe, and I was like, this is an album that could work really nice on cassette. So I found this on Discogs, 15 euros, so it's a bit more pricey, but yeah, I got it to have it on cassette. I've listened to it, works on cassette also really well. It is a candidate. I will really like to make a video about this album, a separate video, kind of like a review or impressions or something like that, because I think it's an album that works really well overall together as a package. Then I got Part-Time. This is an album that came out in 2022 or 23, since Part-Time started to release records again, and this is kind of blue. I have this edition. It's not the first. They already had a run of 100 tapes, which is transparent blue, but I like this one a bit more. I like how it looks better as design wise. It is a nice album. I will talk maybe a bit more when I get to the vinyl record. They also got another Part-Time. They also released P.D.A, one of my favorite Part-Time albums, which I got about 4 times in my collection right now. You've seen it before for sure if you watch my videos. Got the cassette also. Then Late Night with David Loca, also part-time. This is kind of like a demo compilation of songs. Also got on vinyl, also got the cassette. And a banger of an album that came out last year in November, kind of like on the spooky times. Davida's Nightmare, Neverending Nightmare. It's also part-time, but it's kind of like an album with themes of spooky themes, let's put it like that. And this is actually an album that I would love to have a vinyl record release. Another part-time is on the way, which I already showed you the cassette last year, so maybe this one will also come into vinyl. I love the cover, but also it has such a good flow of some songs, and I will tell you a couple of songs. Listen to Brain Eater, The Mental Institution, and Horror Show. So it's kind of like the song number 2, 3, and 4, and or no, 6, Signed Frankenstein of Love, also very good album songs. So anyway, those are the cassette tapes. As I've said, I don't have, I do have my first, and I think I will make at some point a video about that if I ever gonna get to repairing it. I do have the Walkman that I was listening when I was 3 years old, something like that. It doesn't work anymore, probably because of the band got vaporized, so I bought a couple of bands, but I have to open it and then put it on. I did bought one of those expensive We Are Rewind Walkmans. It's nice to listen to. I'm not going, it's just something that I have. I would love to have a deck. It would be easier to just listen to it and just put it there, press a button and have the cassette come up on the stereos, then have it like this. But yeah, this is how I'm rolling right now. And let's go with the vinyl records. You've seen this before. It's part-time with Tales of Bubblegum Brainz. Why is it again? Well, this is my second copy. The first copy, which is the pink edition, I have it on the wall. I framed it, and because I do want to have an album that I will listen to, this one is the black edition. This one is the one that I'm going to listen to it. A candidate for a solo video for sure. Maybe one of my favorite albums all times, but let's not use words like all times and things like that. It's an album that I like to listen a lot right now. To mention some songs, listen to Tales of Bubblegum Brainz, same name as the album, or this is a more difficult song. Listen to Bad Times to Bun Luv. This one basically, it has like a banger on how it starts. Listen to that one and see how it is. But anyway, then Mitch Murder, Salaryman, kind of a vaporwave vinyl record from Mitch Murder. As I've said, I'm buying everything Mitch Murder releases. Haven't listened too much to it. It's full of a lot of 1 to 2 minute songs. It's vaporwave, so it's not the classic Mitch Murder 80s sound, but it's still something that I'm happy to have in my collection. Then M.I.A DeMarco. These are some other ones. The demo album that came out in 2015. I kind of didn't know this existed until it was announced for vinyl and was like, wait, this is something that came out in 2015. M.I.A DeMarco has this way to also release a lot of demo songs and so on. This is kind of like old school M.I.A DeMarco demos, not like the newest things that he released, which are very, very slow and maybe not that engaging, let's say, not why we kind of fell in love with M.I.A DeMarco. But this one I enjoyed, so I'm happy that I got it in my collection. I can't tell you any song right now, mostly because I don't remember. Then something that I've been waiting for years is Opeth, Damnation, an album that came out in 2002. I remember listening to this album a lot in 2005. A lot. It's the Opeth usually have clean vocals and hard vocals, right? Like grow. This one is only with clean vocals, and I enjoy it a lot. And for years, there were a couple of presses back in 2003, 2004, something like that, but they were like 200 euros as price. And this is a repress, I believe, from no, it seems to be from Sony. And In My Time of Need, try to listen to In My Time of Need as a song, see if you like that one. But as you know, how to put a genre, technical, melodic, death metal. It's not really death metal. I don't know. I haven't thought about this. I haven't listened to a lot of those type of bands in years, but this album is dear to me, so which is why I got it. Listened to it a couple of times here, but then, you know, I moved to other things. Then while I was browsing HHV to see what else to buy, I saw this Martin Dupont Hot Paradox. This is a repress of a vinyl, an album that came out in the 80s. This is what Spotify algorithm sometimes does to you. This got like a banger of a song. I was like, whoa, this is a banger of a song. The album was 200 euros, something like that. I go meet with my friend Georgia, and he's like, man, I found this song. He gives me the same album like 2 years ago or something like that. Spotify algorithm also hit him with that song. It's mostly because we have very similar taste in music in general, and he got it. But that's a very good song. The album is so not bad, but that song, which I can't see because it's not in the back, and I don't know out of my mind. I will see to put it on the screen somewhere when I'm going to edit this video, if I'm not going to be lazy. I'm learning DaVinci Resolve, so I'm very slow with it right now. But anyway, that song is a banger. And we have another apparition. This is Spaichi. He is 15 years old in January. This month it's going to be 15 years since he is in my collection. He's already an old boyo. He had to visit the vet like 2 weeks ago. He's starting the problems, yes. But this is the boyo, very fluffy. I have lots of pictures with him since he was a little boy, because that's when I was in college and I had like a new camera and I was like always filming him. He seems grumpy, but he's not grumpy. He's a good boy. Late Night with David Loca. As I've said, this is a mix of demos from 2005, I believe, to 20 something. If I remember correctly. It's very lo-fi. Everything was recorded by David, of course, so it's not with a proper band. I'm happy that these demos have my most played song ever and one of my most favorite songs ever. It's called Animal Machines by Part-Time. I do have that song already on the other demos, Return to Cherry, which is my really holy grail, one of the most expensive albums that I ever purchased. But it's an entire story by itself, or you can watch the video from years ago where I may be telling that story. But yeah, I have that song again on this album. While I was listening to the album, this is why it's great when you listen on vinyl, that you start to listen, you can't really change the songs to listen to the same song over and over, and then you kind of start to notice other good songs that maybe are a bit slower paced. And all day long I've been thinking about Tonight. It's a very slow tempo song. It's a very moody. It's kind of telling a very nice story behind it. I haven't listened to the lyrics. I'm the type of guy who doesn't listen to lyrics, mostly because English is not my native language. And when I was little, I wasn't understanding what they were saying. So lyrics for me, it's just another instrument. So anyway, but listen to that song and Animal Machines, of course. Then I've got Altın Gün on. It's not my favorite Altın Gün album. I think right now I have about 3 Altın Gün albums. I did an order somewhere. I was like, let's also get this album. I think maybe the first 2 songs I would like to mention. I kind of forgot the first 2 songs. But Altın Gün is a nice Turkish band, but they are from Netherlands, but with Turkish influences. So they sing in Turkish. They have a lot of Turkish popular folklore songs, but they have their own original songs lately. I think last year or something like that, their vocalist left the band. She's still on this album. So I would love to see them live. But yeah, Altın Gün, it's a pretty good band. Spaichi just puked in the other room, so I have to remember not to step in it. Fat White Family. The story with this is that I was in UK, in London. I went to Rough Trade. I was browsing the vinyls, records going around, and then they had like some music playing around, and then there is a song that got stuck in my head. I was like, I actually went to ask for. I use Shazam, not Shazam. I don't use Shazam. SoundHound to try to find a song. It couldn't find the song. I go to the guy, say, who's singing this? He said Fat White Family, but I couldn't understand him. So he came to show me. It was like this album who just came out. This is on Clear Press, and I was like, I usually am plan with the vinyl records that I'm buying. I don't like to take chances, But then I took a chance with it because I wanted to be inspired. You know how it was in the old days, like you like High Fidelity is one of my favorite movies. You go to a record store, you listen to a song, hey, what song is that? And then you buy it just because of that song. This is how I bought this album, like without any listening to it at all. It is an album. It doesn't stick out that much, let's say. I haven't also listened to it that much, but that song is still a banger, which is What's That You Say, I believe. What's That You Say? I will put it on the song if that's not the one that I'm saying. I kind of forget the name of the song sometimes. Then I got M.I.A DeMarco yet again. This is the 10-year anniversary of his first album, Rock and Roll Nightclub. It's on colored vinyl, and it's also having like an insert by M.I.A DeMarco where he wrote how he started to record and things like that. And it was a very interesting read. It's only a couple of paragraphs, it's not like a long story, but it was interesting on how he was dedicated and to record this, and he was like, he locked himself kind of like for like 2 days and he recorded the whole thing, and then he had like friends in the other room coming them over to listen to it and things like that. So I was like really fascinated by people who kind of know their calling or whatever, or their passion, and they are making their passion out as of, hey, I want to be a musician, I'm a songwriter, I'm going to write songs, I'm going to make music, I'm not going to entertain people. You know, I'm a bit stuck in this overthinking mode for years, and I find it interesting when I see people who are passionate and somehow they make it work. I don't want to philosophize right now, but kind of, you know what I mean. I will maybe go deeper into this whole thing. And to tell you some songs, Babies Wearing Blue Jeans, European Vegas, let's stick with those. Seara the Jazz with Aura, kind of like a very old school jazz album from the 70s, I believe, that came out in Romania. This is a new repress. This Electro Records, which is the communist label, they used to release everything in the communist times. They have a lot of big portfolio, right? They kind of lost their pressings. They don't have the manufacturing pressing anymore, but they have the rights for the music, and they've started to recently re-release the music on new formats, cassettes and vinyls, so vinyl records. So I decided to buy the album to have some jazz and Romanian jazz in my collection. It sounds nice, but I won't go into details with it. Then I kind of got to 7 inches. I will start with M.I.A DeMarco 7-inch. I think this one is called Only You. It was a bit pricey, maybe around 30 euros or something like that, but again, I collect M.I.A DeMarco stuff. So the first side is the song Only You, which is also on that AP that you just saw, first album, and then Me and Mine. Yeah, M.I.A DeMarco stuff. And then I was kind of thinking if I should get Craft Spells. This is such a good album with such a good song. I mean, this is the 7-inch, is a single. After the Moment. Listen to After the Moment by Craft Spells. And I was thinking like, should I buy the whole album? Should I just get the 7-inch? I was thinking like, if I am to buy the album, I need to put an order to a guy and I need to spend shipping. But then since I'm ordering M.I.A DeMarco from that guy, I will also put this same shipping. That was my logic. So I basically got the 7-inch. So Craft Spells, After the Moment. BadBadNotGood. I know about this album for like 5 years or so. There is a very, very good song on it. And while I spent 200 euros on a website, Romanian website, because I wanted to buy one record, and I was like, let's buy some more records, and I basically bought like 4 of them or 5. This was one of them. It's a good jazz album. With the word jazz, it's a bit hard how to put it. It's fusionish, jazzish. I don't know. They have like insanely good bass player, and I would really like to tell you what song to listen to. But again, it's trying to be edgy on the way they write the name of the songs, and it's a bit hard. But I know it's a song featuring on vocals the guy from Future Island. Yeah, I think so. I spent 50 euros on this part-time 7-inch. It's a bit hard to find. I wanted to buy it in the past, then it disappeared, and I was like, I'm not going to get it, it's too expensive, it's not worth it. but then I got it. It came from Scotland. The guy was a nice guy. I kind of forgot to tell him to not put a value on it, so I had to pay an extra €10 tax on it on top of it, so it became the most expensive 7-inch I ever bought. This song has Virgo Maze and Night Drive. Night Drive is a very good song by Part-Time. At some point I used to say it's the best. It's not the best. The downside with this record is that it's very noisy. The guy also wrote noisy on the label itself. I'm not mad about it because I'm not going to listen to the 7-inch. The 7-inch purpose is just to have it in my collection. I don't plan to resell this anyway. I'm not sure how to clean it. I will try to clean it some more. It's very noisy, as in a lot of crackling stuff. The second the second side is okay. And when he sent me the package, he also sent me an extra Ducktails. And then I was like, hey, this band seems familiar, and it's actually, I've listened to, because of Spotify algorithm, I've listened to Ducktails a couple of times with a song that's actually on this 7-inch. But the name of the song here is different from the name from the album, so I can't really tell you. But anyway, more stuff in my collection. M.I.A, I got this one because of Paper Planes, the classic song from 2007. Such a good song. However, the whole album, I don't enjoy it that much. It's also like 2 records, so if I am to put the record to listen to it, they are like 2 or maximum 3 songs per side, and it's a bit not that well to enjoy when listening on the vinyl. I'm not sure why I bought this. For the Paper Planes, of course, this was in my wish list on HHV for like 3 years. It sold out on HHV for a lot of years, and then I saw it. I was like, oh, this is my chance to get it because it was sold out on HHV, and I got it. And now I'm a little bit like, okay, I have Paper Airplanes. Then Part-Time P.D.A. This is my 3rd copy. This is the new press. This is on orange. The other 2 copies that I have are the original 2013 releases by Mexican Summer. Those releases are more interesting in a way, even that they are on black and not on orange like this one. They have P.D.A. embossed and they have another insert, but for people who didn't got the album on vinyl, now it was their chance because this is a fantastic album to have on record. I like kind of the whole album except one song called Funny Moods, but I Want to Go, very good song. It's only when you put it in and it starts with the first song, you know that this is an album that was thought, like what's the journey of the album. But to tell you about some songs, I want to Go, Night Drive. This is where it is originally that song. Staring at a Gun, it's a good song. I Belong to You, a very, very, very good song that I enjoy a lot. I listen to a lot of live versions of that song. P.D.A, of course, and All My Love and All Your Love, Together We Are Fine. Another song that I've discovered because I listened to the vinyl record. And then Sonato de D and Seashells. This is such a great album, so many good songs. Then I go on Discogs and I look at Altın Gün to see what they have released and so on and so on. And look at, let's see what 7 inches they have released. And I see this cover and I'm like, oh my God, I need to have this cover. I know the style is the same artist who did the cover for Yol, but I was like, I need to have this 7-inch. Then I've checked the songs. I don't think, maybe the second song or maybe the first one, it is on the album, but the second one, it is not. It's so it was a very good song. I was like, I need to have this in my collection because the art, it's so fantastic. Go on Discogs, if it's 15 euros on Discogs, it's not worth it. Let's go on the label side. Also, sometimes how I discover new music. So I go to the record side, I see these 10 euros, I put it in cart. But man, I can't pay 10 euros shipping for a 10 euros 7-inch. I need to buy something else. But what? So I've spent about 2 hours listening to various bands, having things in cart, deleting things from cart. This takes priority, this takes priority. And this is how I discovered YÍN YÍN, one of my most enjoyed full bands, one of the nicest discoveries from last year. Such a good album. I haven't listened to the other albums that much because I'm still stuck on this one. Lovely artwork, by the way, and lovely packaging. The way they combine the bass line with oriental music, I don't know how to describe it, but listen to The Year of Rabbit and then Pia Dance, Tam Tam, The Year of the Tiger, Tokyo Disco. Tokyo Disco has a very funny video and a very groovy bass line. Yeah, start with Tokyo Disco. Then I got another mug, DeMarco 2. I got this one because this is the 10-year edition release, 10-year release of the album 2. It came out 2 years ago because this album came out in 2012. Yeah. So this one is on Viceroy colors, lovely colors the way they made it, Viceroy colors, because Ode to Viceroy song is on this album, one of my favorites. Again, it's a really nice package. It opens up like this, insert. It also comes out with the demos, so it's the album and the demos, which I already have as individual albums released. But yeah, what to listen here? Ode to Viceroy, Freaking Out the Neighborhood, My Kind of Woman. Let's just go with those. Yeah, just go with those. Again, it has an insert with his recording journey, so it's nice to have in my collection. Still continue with Mac DeMarco Salad Days. This just came out last year, and when I ordered this, I saw that the other one too is on stock, which I wanted for a couple of years. The downside with this one, this has holographic effect. It looks absolutely fabulous. I was very annoyed that there are two editions, black edition, this one, and the one that got on, and the green edition, which got sold out really fast. And I was like very, very annoyed that I missed on the green edition. But then I got this one, and then this one is looking much nicer than the green edition. And right now, even that, I mean, the Viceroy colored for the second album is still in stock after years. Why is the green edition not in stock anymore? But anyway, maybe it was a dip and now it's back in stock. I haven't checked, I don't care. But this one, again, with the album and the demos, it opens up like this. Very, very pretty. And also it has inserts where he talks about Salad Days. This is the first album. This is how I discovered Mac DeMarco. At first, I discovered Mac DeMarco in 2014 by listening to Chamber of Reflection. It was a video on Reddit with a naked black guy in New York, naked on the streets, and then the guy who was filming was listening to Chambers of Reflection, and people in the comments like, who sings the song? And I was like, that's how I found out Mac DeMarco. And then in 2017, at the beginning in January, so 7 years ago, 8 years, Jesus Christ. I was really, really depressed after some times, and I was like, I was listening to a lot of music, and I remember, hey, Mac DeMarco, this guy used to be very chill music. When I discovered the song, I listened to a couple, 1-2 songs, the first two, and this is how I remember that he's chill. And I started to listen to it and was like, first song, second song, first song, second, and 3-4, 3-4, 3-4. And I went into this whole spiral loop where I discovered Mac DeMarco, because I started with this one, then I went to the second album, then I went to another one, and then it was like, oh my god, Mac DeMarco became my favorite artist until 2019 when I discovered Part-Time, basically. Current Events by Mitch Murder. As I've said, this is the holy grail, classic 80s song. Listen to Frantic Aerobic and In the News. Even when you put this album on when you start to listen, you see that there is a song there. There is a package there, a story that he's trying to tell. So very beautiful album. Also listen to Night Train. Night Train, very slow tempo. Night Train, you put it on your car record and then you are driving in the night and you listen to that song. That's kind of the thing. That listen to the song and you will see what I mean. Part-Time Special Blue. This is the vinyl record of the cassette that you saw at the beginning of the video. What song to tell you about? Again, it's trying to be edgy with the name of the song, so it's hard to see. Master of the Sky, that one is good. And Beside Me. Then I've got the music from Braid. I collect video game music on vinyl. I have like a lot of them. When I saw that this was announced, I was like, Braid, oh my god. I think Braid is maybe one of the first games, or maybe even the first game that made me start listening to music from the video games. Because when Jonathan Blow made the game, he went to Magna Tune and he licensed music from there. So those are actually artists, but he managed to pick some very good slow tempo songs that have like a very special vibe, which works fantastic on vinyl record. On vinyl, I was like, when this was released and announced last year, I was like, I have to get this. This works amazing on records. And it is two records. The second one is some dude remixed the songs, but I don't like those remix songs personally, but yeah. Still Corners, Strange Pleasures, The Trip, of course, classic song, and there was another one, I think Strange Pleasures, the last one from this album. yeah, I wanted to save this one in, I think this is the 10 years collection. I think it's on Reddit if I remember correctly. I listened to it, then I bought it, I listened to it twice on record, and then this is it. So I need to listen to it some more before I can tell you more about the whole packaging of the whole thing. Then Junior Senior. I bought this because of the classic song Move Your Feet, which came out in 2002, and I even remember the album, the video. It was such an amazing song to put on at parties. I was like, I need to have this song on vinyl so I can put this on at the parties, which if I'm ever going to DJ. And kind of the last purchase from last year, Gaud. I don't know the lyrics. I don't listen to the lyrics, as I've said, but there were a couple of in between or soft spot. I kind of forgot the name of the song. There are like two songs that sound really, really nice. And I wanted to buy this album back in 2021, but I was like, nah, it's kind of like not my thing that much, not worth on buying it on vinyl. But then I looked, because I wanted to buy the record from top, which I forgot to take down. This was on sale for $10, and I'm like, $10 I will buy it. And the last record, it's For You by Tatsuro Yamashita, or however you pronounce this. This used to be 100 euros on Discogs in Japan. It's a lot of copies from Japan, and then even those who are in Europe, this is the monopole of, or however you call it, the economics of fucking vinyl records. Someone sets the price, and then that's the price, even though that's not really the price. But anyway, and then one or two decide that that's the price, and they buy it, and then this is a repress from 2023, I believe. I was very lucky to get it. I wasn't able to find it in Europe on the websites where I generally buy records, but then I saw this on the Romanian website, and was like, okay, I'm going to buy that. And this is how I also bought the other one, Gaud. It's a good all-around album. Just start with the first one. Just start the album and let it play a little bit, and you will see what I mean. Yeah, so this is kind of it. I hopefully haven't forgot anything. Those are the vinyl records that I bought last year. Decent year, if I would say. I kind of am at the point where I do have like 4 vinyl records already purchased that's supposed to arrive in January, February. 2 of them are on my way, or on their way, but I'm kind of like to a point where, in general, with books, with comic books, with board games, I already sold a couple of board games, with music, I'm kind of trying to chill a little bit for a good couple of months, trying to enjoy the things that I already have, because I realized that I kind of went into a spending spree, especially at the end of last year. So I'm trying to be a bit more mindful and try to enjoy the things that I have more than trying to go to the next thing to buy. Of course that I will still buy vinyl records, but I will try to think a bit more about what I buy and things like that. That is the thing when you have like so many different type of hobbies. I constantly get excited by different things. I buy them, especially with books. I buy the books and then I don't read the books. So yeah, I will make a video about I wanted to get like all of them packaged. Robert Jordan, The Wheel of Time books. I have like 8 of them here. I wanted to make an individual video about those, and I will, because it's a good story about having things in the collection. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next year if you are only watching this video, or you can subscribe, and hopefully I will start to make some videos about the albums that I have in my collection. I'm not sure yet how to approach these type of videos, because I don't want to call them reviews. I want to call them like a very subjective way. This is an album that I enjoy. Those are the songs that I enjoy. Look at this minute, look at this second. This is a nice way this thing is happening in this song, maybe kind of how I found out about this album. And I'm not sure if people will find it interesting. I'm not sure how to approach it. I'm kind of stuck in overthinking mode. Luckily, I've started to make some videos about books for now, and then I will see how to do the music ones and so on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you soon. Goodbye.